Well, it's that time of year when your tomatoes are coming off the garden. You want a nice fresh garden salsa. I'm going to show you how we make ours. It's simple and it tastes really good. We use a blender. We like green onions, jalapeno, cilantro, salt, and tomato. Keep it pretty basic and it tastes really good. A lot of people will put in spices, cumin, or what is that? Garlic. There we go. I don't know. I don't care for that. I just like the natural salsa flavor. So I just cut off the ends of my green onions and chop them up. And because we're using the blender, you don't have to worry about making them completely perfect sizes. Because we're going to blend them up. And I like to take a handful of green onion, put down in the bottom of the blender so they blend up fine and smooth, and then I'll add some more of the top green at the end for more chunky. Next I'll do the pepper, and with the peppers the heat always seems to vary. But I like a little kick, just enough to make your brow sweat. And usually you can kind of smell or feel the heat coming off them as you cut them. And if you don't want it too hot, you can try and avoid the seeds. Again, I like a little hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in half the pepper. And we'll save some and see if we need more. And then pick a few of your softer tomatoes. They'll be used more as a liquid to help blend up your onion and pepper. It's pretty soft. These are going to blend right up. You don't have to cut them too small. That one's nice and soft. Look at those tomatoes. They're just bright red. You can smell how good they are. And then keep some that you'll use to make it a more chunky salsa. I like having a few grape tomatoes, if you have them. So we've been growing some tomatoes this year. We've been excited for salsa. So once you got that, you can just blend it. Have to shake it a bit. Go too long. Smell it, can smell that heat in there. At that point, you can start cutting your tomatoes, the rest of them up. And you don't want to blend too long if you like it chunky. I like a little chunks in my salsa, so I just kind of quarter those tomatoes, put them in there. Won't be able to fit them all. That's all right. have some left over for BLTs, sandwiches. Throw some more onions in there. Try and keep it chunky. Another tomato. Kind of get my softer ones out of the way here. I don't like the tops. Try this out. And lastly, we'll use some cilantro. I bought the organic this time. Sometimes I don't. And an important part with the cilantro, salt. You know, everyone has their salt preferences. Salt does make a big difference. If you use a nicer brand, we prefer Redmond real salt. It's very good. It's about all we have in our house. I may want some more jalapenos, we'll see. With the cilantro, if you don't cut it up pretty fine for your last, I find that the blender just wraps it around, so you do have to cut your cilantro up a little more fine. And I like a lot of cilantro. That in there. And then I salt it at the end. I get it in my bowl and just kind of stir it. Smells pretty good. It's a little thin, but some chunks in there. As you pour it out, if you see there's too big of chunks, you can always go in and blend it some more, but I don't see any that are too big for my liking. So I'm gonna call it good there. And then you can be pretty liberal on your salt. Stir that in. See some chunks in there. It smells real good. Use a chip and see how it tastes. Add more salt as needed. You can see a lot of the green cilantro in there. To me, that's what really makes a fresh salsa stand out. We have some recipes for bottled salsas, even using canned tomatoes for salsa when you don't have those fresh garden tomatoes that are really good. Maybe we'll show those another time, but this, you gotta have that cilantro. I'm gonna try it out. I'll let you know how it tastes. I think a little more salt, but the cilantro, tomato, onion ratio I think is good. It's always a little different each time. And I think that you could use just a touch more heat. I might dice up some more jalapenos and stick them in. I'll add some more salt. We'll call it good.